clown virgins, clown virgins. We're getting together to make the world better. Clown virgins, clown virgins. We'll make you laugh and play, we'll take your blues away.
The thing about tomorrow and yesterday is all relative. And it's all going to be much clearer when AI starts telling us about what we said yesterday and showing us what we might say tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just going off the rails there. I haven't really prepared anything, so except that it is kind of, yes, 52 years, and I worked a lot in that period. But what I found in the last 5 or 10 years is getting more and more difficult to, maybe it's because I'm not a nice clown. People want to see nice clowns. I'm this nasty guy. So I'm struggling to get work, really. But it would be, yeah, I think it would be nice to be able to have the platform to do the kind of things that I've managed to be doing, very funny. I've been very, very funny for a lot of it. I guess, yeah, I should have prepared something earlier. Well, I didn't, so tough tooties. Well, I could tell you, yeah, maybe that's the thing, is I've got to get back on the street because, when I first started, I just woke up one morning and said, I want to be a clown. And so there's no history of it in the family or anywhere. Did the Eisteddfod school when I was a kid, that was about it. But so I was 20 and I'm going to be a clown. What do you do? Oh, applied for a place at the only school I knew of at that time was Jacques Lecoq School in Paris. One of 80 places out of 3,000 applicants. I got, but with the acceptance came the demand for the first year's fees of a 2-year course, which was 2,000 francs a year. Well, I spent a month trying to get it and failed because I was a hippie squatter, having lots of fun. And so I started playing in the street, and that was the most successful and happy time of my life. It was just fantastic. So the reason I told that story is maybe that's what I've got to do, is get back onto the street, because it's the most honest place to go and play, really. You don't have to pass any auditions, you don't have to, and people will stop if you're funny or if you're interesting or whatever it is. So yeah, I think that's the way forward. Any questions? No, it's not questions time yet, is it? But yeah. What can I tell you? It's been a very interesting career, I must say. Great to hear and know people like Joanna and Leo, old school family, circus traditional people. I mean, it's fantastic. That's tough work, being a proper circus clown. With all the makeup. I've got a few characters where I do whiteface, but mostly it's just the manic derision of me, my kind of personality. So teased up hair, wild stuff, just gives you the liberty to do whatever you want, which is what clowns have always done. We sit at the right hand of the kings, and we can comment and say what we want and do what we want to all of these people who are taking note of what's going on.
Chris, there is Tatiana who has a question for you. Would you like to hear it?
That's why I like questions. I'm much better with those.
Hi. You just mentioned that you had several characters. I was interested if you would like to share something about your clown personas, or one favorite of yours, or less favorite, or.
Do you know what? That's a kind of split answer. I mean, I've got two answers to that, and they're quite opposing. Because I love the freedom of the manic, anarchic clown that is kind of just me with my hair teased up. But I developed a show called Eric the Fred about 5 or 6 years ago, 10 years ago now. And that is a really beautiful, silent, white-faced clown. And, you know, I transformed from that teased up wild guy into a bald white face and put the makeup on. So, I mean, that's a really nice contrast to have to start a show with that wild guy having a breakdown and transforming from teased up head to being a bald white-faced clown. That, yeah, I like Eric the Fred. Is he's really sweet and harmless. Yeah, doesn't hurt people. Great, I love questions because they're easy to answer.
David Lichtenstein, you wrote something quite interesting. Would you like to ask a question directly?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
There's someone, David Lichtenstein, who he did write something quite interesting into the conversation. So I was just seeing if he would have liked to ask you directly a question.
Oh, okay. Oh, I could juggle. No.
Or maybe someone else has a question.
I could put posted things on my face. Remember to grow up.
Yeah, I have a question, Chris.
Good.
David said you and Leo Bassi are two of the greatest troublemaking clowns I've ever seen. And why is making trouble a good thing? Why do you like making trouble? And if so, why?
I don't think that's the intention. It's more being provocateurs, you know, which is that's exactly what court jesters always have been. You know, we're provocateurs. It's like hitting the spots that that people are afraid to go to, and I think that's what the essence of clowning and fooling is being able to dance on, you know, dance on people's graves, dance on the king's head, you know, being able to mimic the authorities and push people into thinking that, and creating that fear, you know. Fear is a great aspect of clowning, you know. Just I mean, I know it's probably not a great thing to tell somebody like you know, like Oliver, you know, to create fear in hospital wards where someone's, you know, about to croak or something. But, you know, maybe, I don't know. I haven't got it. You know, I'm still trying to work it all out, clowning. I've only been doing it 52 years, so I don't really know how to do it. I'll just make it up.
There ain't no place I'd rather be. You're lighter than the sun and the stars to me. Everybody's family at the Clown Virgin.